Hey y'all, I'm out at the lake. Gonna do a little channel cat fishing tonight. Gonna try something a little different. I have cut up hot dogs with Propel berry flavored powder on them. Anyway, I don't know. That's what we're trying tonight. We're going for channel cat. I'm gonna put one big pole out, but really I'm just after some eaters. And we're gonna try and use these hot dogs for bait. We're also going to use grasshoppers and things like that I can get out here. Maybe some perch or a drum, something we can catch out of the lake. But the only bait I brought was these and then my fishing bag. So I obviously have plastics and things like that, but they're not gonna be a lot of use tonight. But I have it. Anyway, we're gonna set up a few poles here along the bank and we're gonna do some fishing into the night. Not really sure how late we'll stay. A lot of that will depend on how tired I get, and it'll also depend on how the bite is. If I'm just catching left and right, I will stay out here until the sun comes up. Let's get some poles in the water and see what we can do. So we're going fishing. This hot dog's so soft it ought to break away. Nice thing about that bell is I ain't gotta fucking worry about it when I'm casting. It'll stay. Not very far out with that one. Get her set in there. All right, so we got our bobber swivel hook, swivel only because I need it to get the hook on, and our hot dog skin from our berry flavored Propel powder hot dogs. Just gonna work that out right, kind of flip this out right here. And I'm gonna unlock that reel just in case. All right, so while I was setting up my chair, I saw this big old juicy grasshopper wiggling around in front of me. We're gonna put him on the bobber and see if we can't get us some bait with him. A little mowing. So we got our hot dog on this here straight hook, slip float, 10-inch weighted, and up here on the line, we have a bead that stops slip float. That'll put it about 4 feet deep. We're gonna cast it out there a ways and see what we can't get some attention on it. That ain't 4 feet of water right there. It ain't that deep in this cove right there. Move my bobber over here to that stop. There. Wait to see what happens. Getting a bite on the old grasshopper. Got a whole bunch of activity here all of a sudden. A little wiggle there. Get some movement in that grasshopper. Maybe we'll get some attention. Then knocked it clean off my hook. Looks like a school of baby bass. I stole my grasshopper. Clean off my hook. And catch another one. Alright, it's getting dark. I haven't caught any bait fish. So we getting out the big guns, my baby. This is my 10-foot meat hunter with the pin reel on it. It's got a Santee rig on it right now. And I am going to put some hot dog on it. And we're going to get it out deep. There's a hole right out there. it's impossible to tell from up here. The only reason I even know it's there is because I've seen it from the depth finder of my boat. This whole cove is nice, flat, no more than 6 feet deep until you get out here. But there's a shelf out here where part of this drops off into almost a channel. Channel kind of hooks from around that. There's a flat on that opposite point. That channel comes back around this way before it goes back out to the main lake. And if I can get up on the edge of that lip, on the edge of that drop off, I've got a pretty good chance of catching decent fish. I pulled an 8-pounder from over there this year. From this spot I'm standing, I hooked into him. But we're going to try and get it out that way. Catch those fish as they're coming up to feed in this flat tonight. All right. All right, y'all, it is dark as crap, so we're gonna give up on this here float. It got a hit earlier. I'm pretty sure it doesn't have any bait on it, to be honest, but I left it out because I wasn't positive, and it does not have bait on it. But we're gonna give up on it, and we are going to rig up a little pole with a little circle hook and a little piece of hot dog and see what happens. Super tiny little 1/2 ounce bank sinker. And we're gonna, there's my swivel and hook, but we're gonna twitch the hook off in a second too. But we're just gonna throw a little loop in here. Put this bank sinker on it. Slide that loop over the sinker, and boom. All right, we have the sinker. Now, put this box away and get my hook box out. Shouldn't be using a circle hook on a swivel, but here we are. Bass rod, 1/2 pound bank sinker, little like number 2 circle hook. Close this tackle up real quick. I don't want to dump this in the pickup. That would be an absolute clusterfuck. All right. Come back here to the hot dogs. That'll work. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're just gonna test this out here a little ways, not very far. I don't need it very far. This is all shallow anyway. It doesn't matter if it's 3 feet out or 30, 60, it's all about the same depth. And then we are gonna take this drag and crank it way down. All right, y'all, so I haven't been doing any good on the hot dogs, but my wife reminded me, we were talking on the phone, that, and I forgot about this, I have a tub of Dandy King's punch bait here that I keep in the bed of the truck. So I can't find any sticks on the ground, which is really odd, but I found a straw. I've switched to this little charcoal hook with the little squirrely thing around it to hold the punch bait on. And we're gonna put this on one of the poles and see if it does any better. Alright, so we got some Dandy King's Blood punch bait on the treble hook on the little pole. We're going to put it out, see if we can't draw in some small channels with this. Alright, so again, right in front of us we've got this little bass rod. It has Dandy King's Blood punch bait on it. Over here, I have this smaller cat rod out with the bell circle hook, and it is a hot dog in, well, it's Propel brand, but it's essentially Kool-Aid powder. And obviously I've already got bites on the punch bait. The punch bait I've been using all of about 15 minutes at this point, maybe 20. And the hot dog has been out for hours. I've had no bites on hot dogs. I actually switched my larger rod over here to punch bait as well. I put that in a little sack to put on a circle hook. It's a mesh bag that for lantern burners, but they work really well for holding punch bait or liver. So we've got that on that rod. It's out deeper. It's a Santee rig, so it's a little bit off the bottom. It should just be barely suspended, about 3 inches off the bottom with the way I have it rigged up. So that should be set really well there. And I'm hoping to get maybe a 3 to 5 pound channel on it. I don't really care how big as it is. I just would like to catch something tonight. Hot dog, there again, I have zero faith in the hot dog at this point, and we have more punch bait here, which I've already had activity in this spot. These two poles are virtually right next to each other. The baits are honestly about 15 feet apart in the water. Hammered. We just got hammered. It bent the pole over. It knocked the pole around in the holder. Let's see if we can get a hook in this bad boy. Oh, I think we got him. Oh, what do we got? What do we got? Oh, look at that. Channel cat. All right, look at that little guy. Not getting the skunk. That's what I'm talking about. Woo, don't drop the rod. They ain't free. Try not to get stabbed by this little guy, little pokey guy. I never get poked by the big ones, but these little ones get me dang near every time. All right. Look at that beauty. Isn't that a monster? Oh. Well, y'all, I'm packed up for the night. We only caught the one little fish, but I had a great time. And obviously, I got a ton of bites on the Danny Kings. That's the Danny King's blood. And I didn't get a single hit on those hot dogs. So, for this one, the Danny Kings definitely won out. And I will not be trying the hot dogs again. Until the next time, we're going fishing.